It's been a minute since I've talked to you guys before the intro music, and here we are, which means, this episode is going to be good and it's going to be full of some secrets. And that means that you can't tell anyone about those secrets, just so we can keep it between us and I can keep telling my stories. Also, something we don't normally do before an episode starts is give a message to the person that this episode is about, which is something we are going to do today. So if you're watching, I just want you to know that I'm not making this episode to hurt you. I'm not making this episode to, cause drama in your life. I'm doing it because it's about time. I think you know, and I think I know, that I held you accountable, and I held myself accountable for, everything that happened. So enjoy the episode.
Welcome back to the Weekend Roundup. We hope you're all having a wonderful Sunday, and we're so glad to see you here again.
Can't wait.
We have a very fun episode.
Fun?
Well, definitely not fun. Definitely
it's gonna be fun.
I think a insightful and well thought out episode.
Absolutely. Definitely. Look, I'm gonna be honest. We don't rehearse a lot of our episodes. We've been through this one probably about 5 times.
Of our episodes.
Yeah, we'll chat, maybe about some questions, some advice. Make sure that we know we're on the same page, or that we're not on the same page, so we know we're going into it ready for a fight.
Yeah,
but
physically fight each other.
We're about to. Yeah, imagine if we just started fighting.
Who do y'all think would win?
Lauren.
Yeah, I know. Don't you
I know
ever,
Lauren.
Don't you ever disrespect me.
Once Lauren hugged me, I couldn't breathe for a week.
I didn't hug you. I was showing you something. I was like, oh yeah, I used to do this with my cousin, and I was like showing a flip, and then Maddie got the wind knocked out of her. It's not my fault. She's a pussy.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough. But you know what? I'm not a pussy, because what we're about to do today takes a lot of balls.
It does take a lot of balls.
Okay.
And I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
And I think it's good.
But here's the thing. We've been talking about this episode.
Yeah.
We have been hyping it up. And I think there's probably to an extent we've overhyped it. We've talked about it multiple times. We've done the little dramatic disclaimer that you've already heard.
Yeah.
But
I think it's time for us to share
it's time.
As much as we are willing to share.
As much, not even willing, as much as we
able.
can. Yeah. As much as we're able to share.
All of season 2.
All of season 2. Even season 1 had a few episodes.
Yep.
And it's crazy because the whole this person that we're talking about today is somebody who
so special to my heart personally.
So special, so special to me. And this person is somebody who, I don't know, who
meant a lot to you.
Meant a lot to me.
Played a big part in your life.
Played a big part in my life, and honestly, that's why we've never talked about him. Like we had a rule that I never wanted to talk about him. Yeah. And I guess that was kind of for 2 reasons. One, I never wanted to be embarrassed about something that has happened before, and I think in the case of this person, I'm embarrassed about how I acted, and I'm embarrassed about how I let myself be treated. And then also, honestly, I just wanted the whole thing to work out. And I'm not gonna make an episode about someone that's kind of honestly, it's kind of shady to make an episode. I'm trying really hard to do this the right way.
Yep.
And make sure nobody gets hurt and nobody does anything. So also I know I already said a disclaimer, but I'll say it again. It's really important to me that you guys don't speculate who it is that we're talking about, or if you know who it is, you just keep it to yourself, because I'm gonna get in trouble. And I'm not trying to blow this guy's phone up. I'm not trying to get him in trouble. I'm simply just trying to learn from my past relationships and help other people,
Maddie's
deal with
put a lot of effort and a lot of time into getting this episode to where she wants it to be, and to make sure that it's perfect, because this really is Maddie closing the door on something for good. So I think that
this is my fucking Super Bowl.
Yeah, So I
say this is my end game.
Yep. It is. And I think that
game.
You wanted it to be perfect, and that's what we're going to do. I will say I am drunk right now.
You know what? We did have too many drinks before we recorded this very important episode to me.
Yeah.
But it's Lauren's birthday.
Yeah,
as we're recording. So fuck it. And like, should we have recorded a later episode? Probably.
Yeah.
Probably should have.
You got to take the edge off somehow, am I right?
Exactly. And this is how we're going to do it.
Yeah. Happy birthday to me. Please stop asking me if I'm only 22. I swear to God, I'm only 22. I know.
Now people thinking you're a grandmother.
I know. I know. I swear I am. Nobody's ever believed my age. Everyone, like ever since I was like 15, people have always assumed
thought you were older.
That I was older. I guess I did get
Everyone always
boobs.
thought I was younger.
I got tits really young.
I got them old. So it works out.
So I think that might be why, but I am 22. I will provide my birth certificate upon questioning. And that's that. That is my skin. And I also don't have lip injections. That's happening right now.
I saw that. I actually saw that. I saw that in the DMs and I was like, no
I
way.
was born in the year 2000. I know that's brutal.
People were sending old photos of you.
Yeah, I know.
Am I right?
I know.
It's because you shared. It's because you shared your old Instagram, and then everyone started comparing old pictures and new pictures.
I swear to God, I don't have lip fillers. I would tell you, I've said on Pop Pod that I would be down to get lip fillers. I'm not hiding anything. I really don't.
We should get lip fillers.
Me?
Like we should.
Yeah, I would get lip fillers.
I think it would be fun.
I think I already have naturally like decently big lips, but I would definitely thicken up the bottom lip for sure. I remember in 7th grade, people used to tell me I had DSLs. And I thought that was a camera.
What is it?
Mark just laughed. It means dick sucking lips.
Wow.
Yeah.
People told you that in 7th grade?
Yeah. I thought it meant like a camera. Like you have like an old.
Yo, you got a DSL?
Yeah. And I was like, I do. 2 of them, bitch. Right here.
You're like, what? That's brutal.
So yeah, basically what we're trying to say is that this is a really serious and important episode and we accidentally got drunk beforehand, but it's my birthday and it's fine. We're just going to jump into it.
Yeah. And if we get off track, if we're a little messy,
I mean,
c'est la vie.
Maddie, this is our 4th time recording this episode?
No, yeah.
Like recording it in full, having Sweet Mark.
We've literally had it
edit it.
Had it ready to be posted. It was like about to go up.
Yeah, at one point we had teased it so hard. We said
it was Friday. It was Friday and we called it. And we said, nah, we're not posting.
Friday night, I called Mark and said, pull the fucking episode because of situations. You know what? We're talking too much. Why don't we start?
Let's start with...
We'll be back actually next Sunday to do a roundup of my birthday party that will be happening
I'm excited.
In 2 days from the time we're recording. And also we never rounded up Miss Maddie's birthday. So we're going to talk about that too.
A little birthday.
Next Sunday is a birthday roundup.
Not a combined birthday roundup.
Yeah. All right, Maddie, let's hear your story.
All right, let me
Who are we talking about today, actually? I don't know. This is a whole new story to me.
We're talking about somebody who I was seriously seeing for a long time.
Yep.
And that's all I'm going to say. And I think contextually, all you need to know is that I really, really loved this person. And, in my heart, like I probably still love them a little bit and care for them, but not in the same way anymore.
Things are different now.
And that's another reason this ep is coming out now. Like, as I said before, like I wanted it to work. I didn't think if I came out with an app, it wouldn't work. Mm-hmm. Like now I'm like, okay, I'm fully over it. I don't think anything's ever going to come of this.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I might as well round it up.
Yeah.
There's no other way
You can't round up a story that is still happening in the moment.
We've tried and it honestly just hasn't gone.
Is the camera on me? I'm winking. You can't tell a story while it's still happening.
Anyways.
Sorry.
Okay, I have my notes. I got the whole note in my phone because I can't roll up to anything without knowing exactly what I'm going to say.
If me and Maddie are smoking a joint together and she whips out the notes app, I'm like, fuck.
Lauren's in trouble.
The vibe is about to be majorly killed.
Lauren's in trouble. Okay, so in my notes, it says, it started with a great relationship. And that's facts.
Most of them do. Them do.
We were in a really long-term serious relationship for about 2 years, and it was excellent. I honestly had no complaints. The only regret I do have is that we spent too much time together.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like the thing about like when you're in a relationship, and like we're also pretty young at this point.
Yep.
When you're in a relationship and you're like pretty young, I feel like you're just like fucking obsessed with the person you're with, you know? Like it's like your first love. Like honestly, like that's what he was to me. Like he was my first love. He literally showed me like what love was and what love could be. And like that was just so new and exciting to me. And I think we had a really good relationship. Like looking back on just our relationship, I've literally not a single complaint, except the one regret, which I will get into. And it's that we spent too much time together. And basically, when I say that, I mean like I kind of avoided my friends instead of I would hang out with him over my friends. I would choose him first over my friends, which sucks, you know, obviously. Like, have you been in situations like that?
Yeah, I mean, I also, when I was pretty young, I had
not us just being pretty young in this.
When we were pretty young, like I also had somebody that I was with, and like I had my friends have the whole, you know, you're spending way too much time with him.
It's always you always do get in trouble for it.
Yeah,
and as you should.
As you should. And
we said that in the warm up, didn't we?
Yeah,
or
we did.
Something like that. Yeah.
And I was saying like, you know, at the time I was really pissed off that they, you know, pulled me aside and said this, and I was pissed off that they were saying that he was taking so much of my time, and I was really defensive in the whole conversation. But looking back, I totally see that. I think that when you're at that age, very young, and in that
when you're a teenager,
and you finally find the love that you think is the
love of your life,
that it's almost all consuming, you know?
No,
and
I think it definitely is.
That's how I felt at the time.
It's all you think about. Like, it was like, I didn't care to be with anybody else but him.
Same.
And it's like, not that I didn't love my friends, but it was like, I just loved him so much, you know? And like, it was to the point where like, literally when my friends went away for university, not me giving out our age after we just tried so hard.
You don't know what age they went to university.
They're mature students. So my friends go away to university, and literally like they had like one last night hanging out, all of us. And I didn't go, and I hung out with him, and we didn't even do anything special. Like, we just hung out in my fucking basement watching movies like we always did. Nothing wrong with that. Like, I actually loved watching movies with him. That was our thing. But it's like,
it just goes to show how you can be so wrapped up in a relationship. Like I feel like I probably speak for both of us.
Yeah.
When I say that, when I look back on that, it's like, I don't even know who that is. Like, I would never act that way. So, and I know also another thing, I guess, while we're on the topic, I know our high school audience is growing. Shout
out to the youngins.
I peep all of our analytics and all of our followers, and I know all of your ages and everything about you. But our high school audience is starting to kind of like expand, and I'm seeing that demographic go up and up. So I will say,
I'm terrified.
I will say, my advice to you is that a lot of people meet the loves of their lives in high school. They do, and they make it last forever, and that is so admirable. And you know, I'm really happy for people who go through that. But remember that at the end of the day, your friends are gonna be a lot more important to you than an ex when you leave high school.
I mean, just wait until this story is done.
I don't treasure like any memories with any of my high school exes, of course, and none of them are that significant. But like, when I look back on high school, I think of my friends. And I think of my experiences. I don't think about who that one boy that I spent a year with or 2 years or whatever. You know what I mean? If you are in high school and you think you found the love of your life, I hope that they are. And if they're not, remember that your friends were there first.
Yeah, maybe just like re-listen to this episode when that time comes around. If it does, you know?
Yep.
But yeah, so that was like really shitty of me. Like, and that's like honestly one of my biggest regrets is like not going to that. Cause it's like, okay, everyone's saying goodbye. And I feel like that was the last time we could have been like our friend group, because like when you go to university, like things do
It's
change.
never the same.
Like it's just the fact, like things do change, and like we'll never be those people in that moment again, and I
No.
missed it, you know. So obviously that was shitty, and that wasn't on him, and like I'm not putting that on him at all. Like that was
No,
my
you make
decision.
your own
Yeah, that was
choices.
my decision, and I do regret it. And if I could go back in time, like I would and change that, and I would probably change a few other things, but we'll get to that.
Yeah. So
That's note number 1 in my phone.
lovely relationship.
Absolutely stunning relationship. Wouldn't change a thing other than the fact that we hung out too much, which even then, like when I did hang out with him, like it was so enjoyable. Like at the time, like we never got on each other's nerves. We were like just so easy going. It was so easy with him. You know what I mean? Like it was just like, okay, yeah, we are obsessed with each other and that's that. Like we didn't even fight. Like it was weird. It was like honestly weird. Nobody wants to hear about how good things were.
Yeah, that's all we need to know. You guys had a great relationship.
Yeah, nobody gives a fucking
Whoop-de
shit.
fucking do. Let's move on to the breakup, girl.
People want to hear about
Come
the
on.
tea, the drum, and here we are delivering. Because this episode isn't a love story. This episode is a fucking breakup story, as it should be on the roundup.
Yeah.
Because what are you gonna round up a love story? Maybe on my wedding.
That's the
day
name
if
of the
that ever
episode.
happens.
This is not a love story.
Okay, cute. I like it. Before this, I was like, we need to think of like a good name. So yeah, that's a solid one. Okay, so
You guys were together and everything was going super well. And then why did you break up? Because you're obviously not together anymore.
this breakup was probably one of the most traumatic experiences of my life in the sense that I've never reacted to anything. I've never reacted to anything in this episode the way I act in this episode. Like, I don't know what it is about this person, but they seriously bring out the fucking crazy in me.
The person that you are in love with or infatuated with will bring out the absolute worst of you.
No, I'm not even kidding. Like,
Or your most vulnerable self is what I should
most
say.
vulnerable, but like, no, to be real, it was the fucking worst of me. Like, just wait until we get into it.
Yeah, I've never heard this story before.
Here's the thing. We break up, and here's how it goes. I'm starting university.
Mm-hmm.
So fuck it. I guess we are giving timelines. And I'm playing.
We try to avoid it.
I'm really trying right now to keep this as low key as I can.
I know.
I'm playing university ball. Okay, university soccer. Not basketball, soccer. We got the Wanderers flag on the table for a reason.
You know what's up.
Okay, we're footy fans in this house. Just kidding. I've never once called it footy in my life, and I actually will never again. Like, literally, I mean, not us at the footy game on Friday. Just so you guys know, this is coming out on Sunday. On Friday, we hit up the Wanderers game.
Okay.
Okay. And so I'm at a soccer game that I'm playing in, and then there's the men's team that's like equivalent to my team. So obviously we stay and watch. And so I'm sticking around watching, and I'm texting my boo.
Mm-hmm.
Things are going well. And then
I'm pretty sure you guys had just celebrated a significant anniversary as well.
you know what? Let me throw that in there. We just celebrated a significant anniversary. Multiple fucking years, okay? Multiple years with this person. I was in a serious
I love how I'm like throwing hints at you. Like, I'm pretty sure you guys had
You're like,
celebrated.
did you not read the note in your phone that we worked 2 hours on? Okay, yeah, that did happen.
Just like a couple days before that they actually broke up, they had celebrated an
No,
anniversary.
no. The day before.
Oh, the day before.
The day before.
Yeah.
And we went out to Indian food and I paid, and then never mind.
Yeah.
We had a really amazing, intimate day. And that is all I'm going to say.
A great anniversary. All the things that you would do on an anniversary.
Anything you may or may not do on an anniversary, we did. And then the next day, I'm sitting at a game watching the men's team play another men's team, and I get a text. And this man is starting a fight with me.
Yep.
And he's starting a fight over something stupid. Should I say what it is?
He's trying to give his jersey to another girl.
During his little game or whatever, during like the big game, he wants to give his jersey to
game.
another girl because I can't go because I have my own soccer game.
Yeah.
So I can't go watch his game. And let me tell you, like, I was a dedicated fan. I was a dedicated fan. I think I was at every game.
I've seen the photos.
And there was one... You have seen the photos. And there was one fucking game I couldn't go to. And it was like a big game. It was like the big game. But like, you're going to give your jersey to someone else. So I said, I said, you know what? A classic girlfriend move. I said, you do what you want to do. You make your own decision. He
That
made
is a
his
classic
decision.
girlfriend
He made
move.
his decision, and I decided to be mad about it. Like,
Yeah.
I think that's such a move to be like, okay, well, you make your decision, and then I'm going to react accordingly.
I mean, it is important to note that I haven't had a serious relationship in a long time, but I don't think I've ever been like, make your own decision, babe, and then been okay with the decision.
No, because if you say make your own decision, he best be making your decision, not his decision. To be honest, like, that's such a trap. And, like, I know that's kind of fucked up that I said that, like, looking back now. But you know what?
Okay, then you don't have to date her.
I recommend to every girlfriend to use that line because here's the thing. It really shows someone's true colors, honestly. You let them make the decision and then, I mean, you figure it out from there, you know? And I did try to guide him in the right direction, but unfortunately.
Fortunately, he wanted to give the jersey to another girl.
He wanted to give the jersey to another girl, and that's fine. So I said, okay, I just don't really understand why you're being, like, so freaking annoying about it. And then he broke up with me over text. I didn't think it was that serious.
They had just celebrated, like, multiple years of being together.
Multiple years of being together. And then the next day, he breaks up with me over text. While I'm at a soccer game watching these guys play, I'm in the bleachers with a bunch of people I, like, just met like max a month ago. Max a month ago, most likely a week ago. And I'm just supposed to be okay.
Going through a breakup with new friends.
Going through a breakup with new friends, going through a breakup in public, which we were literally just talking about before he came here. Like, I don't think I could control myself. And obviously, in this case, I didn't because we're here now sitting and making an episode about it.
Yeah.
So I get the text and I'm like...
What was the text like?
The text was like very formal. It was like, I hope to be friends in the future. Like, I'm sorry. Like, I'm
And this
wish
is
you the best.
Truly just like a Tuesday afternoon.
This was like, I'm going to be honest, I was completely blindsided. And like, I've never felt more dumb in my life.
What was your guys's, I guess, as an outsider, what was your guys' anniversary like the day before? I know you just kind of talked about it, but like, what was the vibe like?
Yeah, the vibe, well, here's the thing. The vibe at the time was fine. Vibe looking back, he kept saying like, he was like tired. He like wanted to go home. And I was like, oh my God, like, what can I do for you? Like, you're so tired. You're such an athlete. Like, let me, you know, like, help you, like, do the most. And really, in reality, he's thinking about breaking up with me the whole fucking time.
Yeah.
Wow, what a slap to the face the next day. I'm going to be honest. Like, I was like, okay, great, cool.
So he breaks up with you over
breaks up with me
text,
over text
while
when
you're
I'm
at a
in
soccer
public.
game.
And I freak the fuck out. I'm going to be honest. I freak the fuck out. I'm like, I'm going to put my drink down. I'm going to do a quick reenaction for all the YouTubers.
Head on over to our YouTube channel.
Quick little...
YouTube.com/theweekendroundup.
But yeah, so I'm like on my phone texting my man. At first I'm like, yeah, I'm texting my boyfriend, guys. I have a boyfriend. Yeah, we're going to get married, whatever. Things go on. I'm like, wow, he's like trying to give his jersey to another girl. Do you guys think he's going to break up with me or something? And then I'm like scrolling through my phone more, and then he like texts me and he's like, by the way, I think we should break up. And I'm like,
we made it X years and 1 day, and I think that we need to call it quits.
guys, I actually think my boyfriend's breaking up with me right now. I'm not even kidding. Everyone's like, what? What's going on? I'm like, I'm making a joke out of it. Like, I seem so psychotic. I'm like, yeah, he just broke up with me, guys, over text. I'm freaking out. I'm like, number 8 on the field, give me a number. Like, I'm freaking out, yelling at the players, harassing them, honestly. Like, I was harassing them. Like, it was obscene. And I'm like acting as though I'm totally fine. Okay? And then my literally new friend, my fresh friend, who I've known for like a month from soccer, drives me home. And I get in the car and I immediately start sobbing.
I have to say,
Absolutely brutal.
I have to say, Maddie doesn't cry often.
I really don't. And like, I don't cry in public often. You know, like I really keep it to myself. I keep it low key. I'm not trying to like be upset.
I've said on the pod, the only times I've seen you cry is like very serious,
very serious traumatic issues, right?
Yeah. I think I cry twice a day.
Yeah.
So
yeah. And
it's very different.
I try really hard not to cry. But look, this man, as I said before, he brings out all the emotions.
Yeah.
He brings it all out in me. So here we are.
Having a quick cry.
Yeah. Not a quick cry. I'm not going to lie. Like, I think I cried for like 3 days straight.
Yeah.
And like, I wasn't eating. Like, it was like the whole classic, like, first breakup, heartbreak. She's devastated. She can't even eat. Okay. She goes to school for the first time. She gets all dressed up. Like, as if it's like,
first day of uni.
Yeah, I was like, first day of uni, because like literally I hadn't even started university yet. Like, I'm like a little baby. I'm just going through a little baby heartbreak. How sad is that?
Very sad.
So sad.
Yep.
So, yep, we broke up over. The next point's a doozy. Okay, so we break up, and basically, like, I think that night after he texted me, I said, okay, well, fine, I'm dropping off all your shit. Like, so I go over to his house, give him all his shit, and then drive away and literally not really talk to him ever again for like 2 years. We'll get back to him in a second. But keep in mind, like, I'm going through this breakup. It's still soccer season, and I'm at a game. And one of my friends came to watch, and she brought one of her friends, and he was watching. And afterwards, like, I go up and talk to them, and they're like, wow, like, you didn't even get off the bench. And I'm like, yeah, I know, I don't play. Anyways.
First year.
I'm like, first year, second year, third year, fourth year, whatever. And then, so I'm like chatting with them, and he was like, yeah, like, you don't remember me, do you? No, what are you talking about? What do you mean? No, I don't remember you. And he's like, no, like, I picked you and your boyfriend up that time. What? He's like, yeah, like, I was friends with your ex. Like, sorry, I didn't know you guys broke up, but like, I picked you guys up from driver's ed. Driver's ed with my boyfriend.
That wouldn't make sense.
That doesn't make sense. I'm not going to say why publicly on record why it doesn't make sense, but it doesn't make sense. We didn't do driver's ed together.
No.
So I'm like, what do you mean? Like, where did you drop him off? Like, where did you drop them off? Like, what do you mean? And he basically says that he dropped them off, them being like him and who he thought was his girlfriend, at some house in a neighborhood that I don't live in.
Them being your ex and another girl.
And his driver's ed girlfriend.
Who he thought was you.
Okay. So I hear this, and I'm going to tell the story right now. Like, I'm in my first year of university, and this is all just coming at me for the first time. I was fucking pissed. I don't think I've ever been more mad in my life. I'm not even gonna lie.
in my life.
Like, I actually was so mad. I immediately called my best friend, who had moved away and goes to a different school. And I was just like fucking going crazy, ranting to her, like saying the most insane out of pocket shit. Okay.
There's nothing more infuriating. Let me go on a little tangent here.
Go for
There's nothing more infuriating than finding out shit that your ex did after the breakup because there's nothing that you can do about it, but you're so pissed.
No, this is like, this is like
so
2 months. Like, we haven't even
pissed.
talked for like 2 months, and then I find this out, and I'm fucking pissed. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not even close to over the situation to begin with. So like, finding that out, I was like, are you kidding me?
Mm-hmm.
Now, looking back on the situation, I'm thinking that I did overreact. Okay.
Well, my mic's running away. You were only of a young age. I don't know how much I can say. There was a lot of emotions going on. And can we also just say, too, you don't need to know the whole story to know, obviously, that Maddie didn't get much closure from this situation.
Yeah, I mean, I was essentially ghosted.
Like, Maddie was ghosted out of this
Multiple year
year-long relationship. She didn't get a lot of closure, so finding things out after the breakup, it's like twisting the knife even more, you know?
Yeah, like there was no way I was even close to over it. So, and then finding out that he was like, or like what I thought was finding out that he was talking to other people while we were dating, I was like, just a stab to, not even, like, I was just sad.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it was just like heartbreaking, you know? And here's the thing. So I did
have a bit of an episode.
And like I was on the phone with my best friend, and she was with like all these new people that she had just met, and literally for the rest of university they were like, oh, like Psycho Maddie's coming to visit. Like I was Psycho Maddie.
Yeah.
I was Psycho Maddie.
That's unfortunate that other people heard it, though. Like, I've definitely had my moments.
No, that's the thing. Everyone has a crazy psycho moment. Like, I'll be real. I was Psycho Maddie in that moment.
Yeah.
I was fucking crazy Maddie. Okay. But
I'll make you feel better. My psycho moment
I'm like, please.
I'll make you feel better. My psycho moment is that, how much can I say? My ex-boyfriend had pissed me off so bad to a point that I broke up with him. And then he didn't fight the fact that I was breaking up with him.
He just said, okay.
He said, well, you're going to change your mind in like a day, so it's fine. And I was like, that's literally so fucked up of you to say.
I love his confidence.
I was a little bit of a bitch. I was going back again and again. But I broke up with him because he had pissed me off. And then he was like, yeah, like, I don't believe you. Like, you'll be back tomorrow, whatever. I
was back tomorrow.
I was actually back in less than 12 hours, but before the 12 hours ran up, I'm not saying this to sound cool or flex. This is so bad. I shattered every single dish in my first year dorm apartment room. I threw them all at the door, shattered that shit, gone. And I did get my damage deposit back on my first year room, which I wasn't expecting. But that's my psycho moment. It's breaking a bunch of glasses and dishes and like throwing them at the wall.
I honestly don't think that's bad.
You don't think that's bad? Sometimes
I think it's like bad, but also like it's a release.
I was just so frustrated. But like I have told that to people in the past and they've been like, what the fuck is wrong with you? I think at the end of the day, we all need to remember that I do have a personality disorder.
I'm like, okay, well, you know what, guys? It could have been worse.
BPD, happy BPD Awareness Month. That is not a representation of people with BPD. That is just who I am. So
I was like, maybe
yeah.
don't say that. Like,
that's
don't
me bringing.
represent.
I'm like, oh, we got to bring representation. I'm gonna represent.
Like, not you though.
Yeah, not me.
You. They're pissed. Okay.
Do not make me the face of BPD. People will never be taken seriously.
Okay.
Speed this shit along, Maddie. I want you on like 2x speed.
Okay, guys, I'm really sorry about that. I had to put on a sweater because I was really cold. Now.
Yep.
Lauren told me I needed to go on fast forward mode.
Yeah.
Okay, so we didn't talk again for 2 years.
What happened in that 2 years? We met each other. We had fun. We went to school.
Absolutely.
And then the pandy wandy. Slapped us across the face and called us a bitch and put us into our homes.
The pandy wandy said, get the fuck home and stay there because there's no fun. Welcome.
Fun story. Now that we're kind of getting through the other end of the pandy wandy.
Yeah.
The day that I moved out of residence, Maddie
fun for everybody listening, but not fun for us.
Everyone, the day that I moved out of residence really early. Because my parents were really paranoid.
Well, literally, it was like, I feel like it was announced and then you were leaving.
I left right away.
Yeah, like it was like that day.
And then everyone else left like a couple days later. But the day that I left, I hadn't seen Maddie because Maddie was in Cuba. So she came to my apartment and my parents were like,
so nice of you.
You guys cannot hug. Like, don't. I tried to hug Maddie and my mom was like, no, like.
Joanne was pissed.
Don't touch each other. Don't get close to each other. We were like, okay. And then they were packing up my room and they wouldn't fucking leave. Not that I don't want them to be there, but like, you know. And
just wanted to give me a hug.
Anyways, then my mom left for 5 seconds and I was able to hug Maddie goodbye. And then
we didn't see each other for 2 years.
Is
that true?
No, it's not.
I was gonna say, like, we definitely. I feel like during the pandemic, you literally drove 2 hours and stood outside my house.
I did.
Yeah,
I did.
There was multiple instances of that.
Yeah,
that was fun.
And then right when we were allowed to, I moved in with you for like a week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Lauryn never left.
And in between all that, I FaceTimed you every single day.
Yeah, literally. Like here, like honestly, this is where we are now. And actually, we've said multiple times, the FaceTimes during the pandemic were the original roundups.
The FaceTimes during the pandemic is what started the
original
podcast.
Roundups, because we would literally just like start shit in our own lives and then just tell each other about it.
Yeah, like make things up.
Not make things up, like we'd make it happen.
Yeah, like,
but we brought chaos onto ourselves.
Well, you know what it was like in COVID, like nothing's going on. So it was like, oh my God, my crush is listening to a song on Spotify. It's about me. And then we would talk to each other about it for 2 hours.
What an absolutely amazing transition.
Yeah.
Because this is what was happening to me. I was bored. I was so bored during the pandemic. And I start to look at who's viewing my Insta stories, like who's seeing what's going on. And I noticed that our guy, my man, my ex from 2 years before that I hadn't talked to in 2 years, viewing my stories.
He's back.
And not only is he viewing my stories, his girlfriend is too.
Yeah, so I remember how this started because obviously if Maddie sees that, who's she going to hit up?
I'm going to hit up Lauryn. I'm going to hit up the Weekend Roundup advice forum, which is actually found in the link in our bio.
That was good.
Thank you.
Nice.
Thank you.
So Maddie's sending me all these screenshots. He's viewing every story. And I'm like, what the? I think it also, it's important to note that they don't follow each other. They haven't followed each other in 2 years.
I didn't follow him and I didn't follow his girlfriend. And they didn't follow me. I didn't even get a follow out of this whole situation. I was just getting the views.
Yeah. So he's viewing her shit all the time. And we're like, oh, fuck, his girlfriend's viewing it too. I think we are drunk, but we didn't say that pretty shortly after your guys' breakup, he did get a new girlfriend.
Yeah, it wasn't too quick though.
It wasn't too quick, but like
it was under a year, and I was like, okay, but
yeah,
under 6 months? I'm not gonna say too much. It was 6 months.
Okay,
it was 6 months.
So yeah, he just moved on, quickly. Anyways,
as he should.
Yep.
If I've learned anything from this whole situation, if you can get away from a relationship that you're not,
you can get away from her.
If you can get away from me, congratulations. Okay.
So. Yeah, Maddie and him, they had unfollowed each other. He had a new girlfriend. They were living totally separate lives at this point. When I first met Maddie, she wasn't with him, and she was just kind of like, yeah, we did break up. I had an ex, and it was a bit of a rough breakup, and I'm just like getting my own closure and moving on my own because I didn't really get it from him. We just kind of ended out of nowhere. And that's how I got to know Maddie, and she just like was living her single girl life, and I used to admire her so much because I thought like she had her whole single life to used to.
No, but here's the thing, like I think this is why this episode's important too. I feel like listeners feel like that too.
Yeah, I really thought before I knew Maddie, because I was an outsider first, like I thought that she just had it all together when it came to dating. Like we became friends in first year. As I said, I had a boyfriend then, so I wasn't dating, and then when I came back in second year, I was single, and I was like really leaning on Maddie to help me.
So funny, and it's funny too because in high school, like people were like, "Maddie, really?" Like people never, like people would be like, "That's so weird to think of Maddie like that."
Yeah,
and I'd be like, "Really?"
I don't know
That's
if people would think of me like that back then. But anyways, yeah. So he was viewing our stories all the time, and
she was too. So
then after a while, she started viewing them, and then we were noticing that it was every single story the two of them would view.
And I was bored as fuck, so I followed them both.
Well, I also kind of amped you up a little. Like, we were on the phone one
here's
night.
Here's the thing about the following them both. If you're going to be viewing my stories every single time I post a story, both of you, I would at least like the 2 followers from it. Like, not to be a PR kid right now, but you're seriously not going to follow me even though you search me up every fucking night?
It's fan behavior at the end of the day.
It's fan behavior at the end of the day, but also
and nothing against her. You know, she was just kind of wrapped up in the moment.
Yeah, I would be doing the exact same shit.
We've all been there. Get a burner account.
If I had...
Not even out of like the... this is just like my honest conversation with you. Like, you should get a burner. You probably...
Honestly, everyone should have a burner.
Don't view people's story... If you're still doing this, do it. View Maddie's stories. Check up on what she's doing, girl.
But have a burner.
Get a burner. You'll
just throw a fake name in there.
Yeah, you'll
honestly,
thank
it would help
yourself
my
later.
mental health at this point too.
Yeah, help everyone.
Anyways, so, yeah, they're not on their burners. I follow them both. Is that completely crazy that I followed them both? That was a crazy move.
I would like to ask the audience.
I don't know.
On my end, like, I'm like, it's not fucking crazy. You deserve those followers, Maddie. Like, you deserve to confront those people. Like, you know what I mean? I'm a little in it.
Here's the thing, though. Like, I didn't even confront them. I swear to God, all I did, follow.
I was on the phone. I was there. I know.
And I was like, say la vie. Whatever happens, happens. Whatever.
Yeah, what happened after that?
The next day, me and him went for a drive, and he told me him and his girlfriend broke up.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
Yeah.
So when did they break up? Like, immediately after you followed them? Would you say that might be the timeline, or you don't really want to speculate?
Look, I'm not going to speculate. I'm not going to talk on things that I wasn't there for. I'm trying really hard on this episode to keep it just my perspective, my situation.
Mm-hmm.
But the next day, we did go for a drive, and he told me that they broke up.
Okay, so how did this drive come to be?
Okay, so after I followed them both, he texts me, and it's an unsaved number, but I know it's him because you know you got those digits glued to the back of your mind. You know those are literally burnt into the back of your brain.
Yeah.
Like, I could literally recite his number right now.
I think I've just, like...
Bleep it out. Because seriously, I can't forget it. It's literally one of those things, like, I tried so hard to forget his fucking number, and I can't forget it. And it's brutal. And I hate that. But
I'm so happy I have this, like, I don't understand numbers.
I'm so happy I have dyslexia in this moment.
Dysgraphia,
like,
I think, is when you don't understand numbers.
That's representation.
No, whatever the fuck I have.
Not Lauren being our representation.
Y'all know. Queer representation and stupid representation, bitches. Y'all already know.
Okay, so we go for the drive. And things go well. Nothing happens. Like, we literally go for a drive and chat as friends.
Lots of closure.
It was, like, fucking so stressful.
Yeah.
You know, like, when you see your ex or you're talking with your ex for the first time, and it's like, you get in the car. Like, I got in the car. I don't know. Has anyone else been on a closure drive?
Yeah.
You know what? I feel like closure drives are a pretty iconic thing.
Yeah.
Everyone's going on closure drives.
Have you gone on more?
Like, more than just this guy?
Yeah.
Not for closure.
Me neither.
Not for closure, but
that might have been why I went.
Yeah. No, this one though wasn't even like a closure drive, but like for me it was because that's what I thought I needed, right?
It is what you needed.
Yeah,
it's
like,
not what you thought you needed. It's what you needed because you didn't get any of it. I'm like slurring my words now.
Like,
you didn't get any of it when you guys originally broke up. So
yeah.
At the end of the day, like this was what you were actively looking to achieve from this. Whatever it was, friendship, whatever you guys were getting at.
Definitely didn't get the closure. Definitely didn't get the closure.
Well, you guys talked about
we
where
chatted
his headspace
where
was
his headspace was at, and we
definitely
agreed
learned a lot more.
Yeah, we agreed to be friends, but he was saying some shit that made me feel like, okay, it's fucking on. We're getting back together. Like, I was like, yeah, like, he loves me too.
Well, he definitely knows like what to say.
I know. And
You know?
I'm telling this story like from the perspective of like it's happening as like I feel like now I'm much more removed from the situation.
Of course, but at the
time, like it was like I was like, he fucking loves me.
this was 2 years ago.
Things are
and
good.
You never got your closure, and then all of a sudden he's just shown up at your front door like you probably had wished he had done when you guys broke up. I mean, like of course you're gonna get kind of caught up in that. Who wouldn't?
And man, if I can only, I wish I had the Zoom call recorded of when I told all the fucking girls about this.
This is what happened.
Like this was actually such pandemic tea, and like shout out to me, shout out to me for providing content when there was nothing.
Yeah,
this was like the original. Like when we say the FaceTimes during the pandemic were like the original roundups. Like this was like the original roundup. Like this was like I said, girls, we're having a FaceTime tonight. Bring your drinks. I have a story to tell.
Yeah.
And so they come, and I hadn't told anybody that I was going on this drive with him.
Let me say it from my perspective.
Yeah, because your perspective's definitely a good one.
I knew that Maddie had followed him on Instagram, and I knew that he had texted her because she sent me the screenshot.
And I said, look who just said, hey.
So I knew that. And then the next day, like, we didn't really talk. I was like, oh, like, what else did you guys say? And she was like, we texted all night. Like, I'll tell you later. And then at this time, Maddie had Snapchat, so we would Snapchat like back and forth all day.
You know I had the streaks.
Yeah, so Maddie and I had like a streak or whatever because we really cared about that.
Because we're best friends.
Because we are best
and if you're best friends and you don't have a fucking streak, then I'm sorry, but you're not best friends.
So Maddie and I would Snapchat every day, and then all of a sudden she just looked fucking gorgeous, and we were in the middle of like April 2020, so obviously nothing was good. Like, you know,
I was dressed up to the nines.
So Maddie was dressed up, and I was like, "Why do you look so good?" And I remember her being like, "I just like really wasn't feeling myself today. Like I just really wanted to amp myself up." And I was like, "You know what, girl? We're all really going through a hard time. Like, good for you. Good for you. I haven't been
Not
laid."
me absolutely conning my friends because I knew Lauren would eat that up. I knew Lauren would eat that up. I knew Lauren would say, yeah, good for you for like trying to, you know, make an effort for your mental health. Terrible person I am for that. Seriously, what was I thinking? Honestly, genius though. Like I got away with it with flying colors. They had no idea until the Zoom call. Like nobody had any idea.
Looking back, I think I just know you better now. Like I think I just know you better. I don't know if you
I don't know. When I want to be sneaky, I can be sneaky.
Yeah, I mean, sure, if you want to, go ahead.
But honestly, I don't. And I was honestly at this point, like I was like, let me just see what happens before I put it out there to my friends. Because it was also like one of those things, like same as why I didn't put out the episode. I was embarrassed. I didn't know what was gonna happen.
Didn't want to make him look bad.
I didn't want to make him look bad if something bad happened. Like I was just vibing it out, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So we go through with the Zoom episode.
Maddie drops the tea. It's earth-shattering.
Everyone was into it too. Let me say, like, I had my friends on his motherfucking side. I literally have my friends eating out of his palm.
Yep.
Because
we were only getting Maddie's perspective, if that tells you anything.
And
about what Maddie's perspective was.
I'm a PR girl, and I romanticize the shit out of everything. And
separate. PR people don't do that.
Yeah,
Maddie just does that.
But look, that's where we were. And so I told the girlies, and the girlies were obsessed. Because why wouldn't you be obsessed when your friend is finding the love of their life mid-pandemic when there's nothing else going on? You know, it's something to root for.
If you weren't thinking about your ex in the pandemic, then you probably have a really great sex story because it was going across all of our minds. So, of course, I was going to encourage it.
Honestly. Okay. So he texts me. Let me see. Okay, I see where we are now. So this drive, I will say, do you remember when I fell? Did I ever? We didn't say this.
You fell on your way to the car, didn't you?
No, I fell on my way out of the car after we had this whole romantic speech about how we were going to be like become friends and all this stuff. And I was like, okay, bye. I get out of the car. I fucking fall flat on my fucking face.
You fell back in love.
No, I fell on the fucking pavement and I looked like an idiot. I was like, oh my God. I looked back and I was like, bawling. So upset. Not actually, but like seriously embarrassing. Yeah. But of course, when we had that Zoom call, I pitched it like it was like some romantic, like
It's totally the most
rom-com.
beautiful fucking drive ever.
I was like, and then I walked out of the car and I stumbled back into love with him. The end.
And I fell back into love.
If only that
So-
was the end.
So you guys had the Zoom drive, and there were a lot of promises made. I would say definitely on his end, a lot of promises to get to know you again, a lot of promises to be friends again.
I thought we were starting over as friends.
Yeah,
I would say that's where we
I
are.
would say that you got that from the things that he explicitly said.
Fair. And as and
That's
and
all I can
here's the
say.
thing too. I will say, like, on my end, he was like pretty upfront about the fact that he wanted to be friends, and I was like, okay, but we're not going to be friends. Because you're also saying all this other stuff that's like, it was like very honestly mixed messaging. I didn't really know what was going on. And I was like, to be honest, I don't know how to just be friends with you. I think at this point I didn't really know that yet. I think I learned that throughout this whole little moment. But yeah, like I definitely didn't know how to be friends with him, and I didn't honestly have any interest in being just friends with him.
Yep.
Like I wanted him to be my boyfriend because I was like in love with him, you know?
Yep.
So that's how it was. And so I'm getting all these mixed messages, but we're still like kind of hanging out. And I think we go for like one other drive.
And
And
you guys were
then
like texting.
we were texting a lot and like going for drives, kind of like just kind of, it was like the pandemic, you know? So it wasn't like we were like trying to hang out all the time or like there wasn't anywhere to go. But like if we could see each other, we would see each other.
Yeah.
And I'm like lying to everyone in my life at this point.
Yeah.
Like lying about the fact that I'm hanging out with him because I'm just like, I am scared. Like, I don't know what's going to happen. And then comes a fateful night where he says, hey, like, let's hang out. Like, let's go for a drive. Okay. I was like, I'll come pick you up. And so I leave my house and I'm on my way to go pick him up. And he says that he can't actually come for some reason. And I'm not, like, I don't know. It was like, honestly,
I know why, but I can't say.
It was a stupid reason.
The reason was so dumb.
Like I was like, that's really, like, that's not a reason, that's an excuse.
He might as well have said that his mommy grounded him at the ripe age of past legalhood. I can't really say.
So I go to pick him up. He can't come, and he ditches me last minute.
Like, you're in front of his fucking house.
I'm in front of his fucking house, and he ditches me last minute. And so what do I do? Because this is the person I'm in love with, okay? And what do? I drive around for an hour pretending to be on a drive with him so the people in my life don't know that he literally, like, ditched me. So yeah, I'm fucking pissed. I got ditched, and here I am hiding it because I don't want people to know he sucks. Like, and here's the thing,
we didn't know before. So.
It was a complete shocker to me. I'm like, oh fuck, like, and here's the thing, like, I knew I was gonna hear it. I knew I was gonna hear it from my friends because I did this whole Zoom call. I knew I was gonna hear it from my parents because I was like, hey, are you guys comfortable with me going out for a drive with someone who is not in our bubble or whatever the fuck? And literally, like, so everyone knew, and then I get fucking ditched.
Horrible. And what are you gonna do? Go back home 10 minutes after you said you were leaving?
Am I gonna go back home, or am I gonna stick it out and go get myself a McFlurry? Because I'm pretty sure that's what I did. And I sent a very angry voice memo to the group chat. I still have it, and I'm not putting it in the episode or anything. But I was like driving around and I was like, seriously, what the F? I put jeans on for this. Like, I was pissed. It was
Maddie was
pandemic.
driving around, like, killing time so that her parents thought that she was out with him when she was really just being a mega loser and driving around by herself.
Just so he would look good and to protect him. And honestly, wow. Honestly, what a nice ex-girlfriend I am, because I could have been a lot worse. But you know what? Here we are now.
And we could be a lot worse right now, and we're not. So you're fucking welcome, asshole.
Disclaimer.
My thoughts and opinions don't reflect Maddie's thoughts and opinions.
Disclaimer. I'm like, disclaimer. I'm sorry about everything.
I'm not
like,
sorry.
Disclaimer, I still love you.
I'm not sorry about anything.
I'm drunk. I'm sorry. I don't mean that. Okay, so basically we're in this situation where he at first was like pursuing me so hard. Like I was like, he fucking is in love with me.
He was coming on to you very hard.
I was like, he's in love with me. He like, but at the same time, he was like, I want to be friends, but like, I love you.
I want to be friends, but like,
we're getting married.
Can I get in those pants?
Like
is the vibe that I was getting.
Kind of like, it was weird. Like it was like, he would be like, no, we're just friends. I want to take it slow, but we're getting married. So yeah, it's like, can I get in your pants, essentially? And it made me feel crazy obsessed or something. That's what I have in my notes. I felt crazy obsessed or something. Because you know what? There's nothing worse than feeling like you're being like way more than you should. So here we are. And we are besties. And I'm having a hard time with it, to be completely honest. Like, as I said before, it was never my intention to be just friends with the guy. Like,
you want to be friends? We're not going to be friends.
You want to be friends? We're not going to be friends.
I watched Wolf of Wall Street for the first time like 3 months ago.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I know.
Iconic line.
Yeah.
And that's where I was at, but like not in a seductive way, more in like a we're not gonna be friends, like psycho kind of way. You know? Like I was like, no offense, like I can't handle not being
with you.
Yeah, like I literally can't handle it. Like I don't want to be in your life unless, because it's like what? Like I'm just supposed to watch you date other people? What? No, that's not my vibe. So shortly after we started talking, I come to this realization and I'm like, yo, look, it is not going to work for me if you can't speed things along a little bit, okay? And so he says, fine, and then gets a new girlfriend. Another one. Another one.
Yeah, so
he does have another girlfriend. So this is his second girlfriend after we broke up.
Can I just get a quick timeline check in with you, Maddie, if that's okay?
Let's fact check.
You guys went for your drive, and then like, you know, he was really pursuing you. And then you kind of started to give that energy back maybe a little bit.
I gave that energy back. It was
not reciprocated, and he really started to pull back. And then how long would you say it was until he had a new girlfriend? From the time that you went on the drive to the time that he had the new girlfriend, or would you like to not say? Would you like to plead the fifth?
I'm gonna plead the fifth on this one.
All right. We'll just say it was fast.
It was
speedy.
Yeah, fast is an understatement. That's all I'm gonna say.
All right, we'll move on.
So yeah, we'll move on, and that's what I was trying to do. I was trying my best to move on.
Yeah, so I mean, suddenly he has a girlfriend, and Maddie's in a bit of a compromising position because, you know, almost once again,
quite honestly, the exact same. Like
she's been given no closure, and she essentially has been ghosted. So, you know, she just kind of looks at that and is like, well, that's who he is, and he's never going to change. So she decided that, like, she just had to move on. Honestly, considering what had gone on, like, considering, like, the whole, like, the story viewing, breaking up with his girlfriend, meeting up with Maddie, saying the things that he had said, the amount of time, like, do you know what I mean? The amount of time until he got a new girlfriend. Maddie was not as upset as I think she rightfully could have been, is how I'll say that your reaction was. You had a very mellow reaction, because I think that you were just kind of like, yep, like no surprise here, he's just doing the same
like, I feel like I was just like disappointed. I feel like it was like I wasn't really upset, I was disappointed. Like I was like, of course, like it's not gonna work out.
Maddie kind of sticks in a really monotone set of emotions, and I only see her go out of those emotions on certain things, whether that be like really, really happy, really, really mad, really, really sad. She normally operates on a pretty like level, chilled vibration, and it was the same thing. Like she really didn't have, and I'm being honest, she really didn't have that big of a reaction to it, and I think it's because you were just so like, well, you've just shown me again who you are, you know?
Yeah, that's funny you say that, because I definitely freaked the fuck out on my own time, but on my own time, you know, I keep it to myself. I like, obviously it's upsetting. Like it's disappointing. You think you're kind of, there's nothing, like you think you're getting back with someone. You think you're getting what you want back. Like, and up until that point, not to be dramatic, but that was all I wanted. It was all I thought about. Like it was literally, I was obsessed. Like I was like, oh my gosh, like this.
You definitely talked about him a lot more in second year.
Yeah.
than you did in first year.
Yeah, because I mean, he was like back around. Like I was like, oh my god, like we actually have a shot at going all the way. Whatever that means.
But then he got a new girlfriend.
And then he got a new girlfriend. So
And-
I was obviously heartbroken times 2. I didn't take this one as seriously. I wasn't yelling in the bleachers, you know, freaking out, trying to get the numbers of any soccer players.
No, she just cut bangs.
But
which-
I did
totally
get bangs.
normal
I did,
reaction.
but I actually had bangs before we started talking. I think I had
Well,
bangs when
you
we
were
were
already
in the
on the
car.
default.
So
Yeah.
not even good.
So then he got a girlfriend, and once again, the story
Story goes
itself.
on. Pause for 2 years,
They don't talk for 2 years.
and you would think that twice would be enough.
And let me just say
Yeah, say it.
that for any conspiracy theorists, for anyone who has maybe only heard certain sides of this story from certain sources, as someone who is around Maddie every single day of her life and
Yeah.
knows almost every single thing that she does,
That's facts.
I can put my entire life and everything that I love on the fact that Maddie did not make any advances on this man ever for 2 straight years. And I will go to the grave saying that because it's the
They do.
truth, nothing but the truth and the absolute truth,
And that's the
regardless
facts.
of what other people may believe.
Almost had a slip there.
Yeah.
But you know what? That's the facts. And
Trying not to slip up when you're drunk right
no,
now.
this was risky
This was a
business for us.
risky
We said let's
decision.
go film in what might be Maddie's most like significant episode,
Yeah.
like emotionally, and let's do it drunk. But you know what? I'm not high.
Wish I was.
I know. I'm like, I'm not high.
Not to leave you on a cliffhanger, but that is where we will be leaving you for now. This is the first time that we're going to do a part 1 and a part 2 on the same day. Maddie just loves to talk, and she goes on forever and ever. So meet us back here, right here at 6 p.m., and we're going to tell you the other half of the story. Talk soon. Thank you for watching this episode of The Weekend Roundup. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure to subscribe, like, and comment. Maybe hit the bell button. And we'll see you back here next Sunday. Talk soon.